Flashcards and Anki cards useless? Have you ever spent hours trying to study them only to forget the information the next day? Look, flashcards and Anki cards have long been a popular way for students to study and memorize information. They're easy to use, can cover a huge range of topics, and are easily accessible. However, while they may be popular, a lot of learners seem to get super frustrated. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 reasons why the drawbacks of using flashcards and Anki cards far outweighs the benefits. Reason number 1, memorization is not comprehension. To begin, flashcards and Anki cards focus on rote memorization, which is definitely not the same as comprehension. That means that rote memorization is the process of reciting facts or figures, whereas comprehension is the ability to understand and apply the information that you've learned. Flashcards and Anki cards, unfortunately, are not particularly helpful in helping you understand or apply information that you've learned. So in other words, rote memorization does not equal to comprehension. All this means is that flashcards and Anki cards cannot truly help a student master a subject. Flashcards and Anki cards may be helpful for remembering a few short pieces of information, but they become much more time consuming when trying to memorize complex topics. Instead of spending time on a single card, it would be much better to try to understand the material and applying it to different situations. Reason number 2, lack of long-term memorization. Apart from flashcards and Anki cards not being particularly useful to remember more complex information, flashcards and Anki cards are also super ineffective when it comes to long-term memorization. What that means is that flashcards and Anki cards might help you remember some information for a few days, but if you really want to commit that information for the long haul, you need to have meaningful engagement that's necessary to store that information in your brain. All this is because long-term memory activates a different part of your brain than short-term memory. Long-term memory continuously tracks what you've stored. Flashcards and Anki cards might help you remember the definition of a word or the answer to a math problem, but they don't promote critical thinking or creativity, which are key to long-term knowledge retention. Long-term memory is all about engaging with the information so that you can truly understand and find ways to apply it in different contexts. That means that a personalized approach is the key to all this. But sadly, flashcards and Anki cards don't provide enough valuable insights or feedback for you, making it difficult to adjust your study methods. Without any personalized feedback, the information that you've learned through flashcards or Anki cards can easily be forgotten. This can lead to wasted time and effort once you're done studying. Reason number 3, dull and boring. Flashcards and Anki cards are supposed to be a helpful study tool, but hey, let's be honest, they can be pretty dull and boring to use, which can make study feel like a chore. One of the main issues with flashcards and Anki cards is that they're so repetitive and monotonous. It's like you're practicing the same piano scale over and over again. Sure, you're gonna get better, but it's not that exciting, come on. Also, you don't really get the chance to interact or get creative with flashcards and Anki cards. Another problem with flashcards and Anki cards is that they're so limited in the format. They don't allow for flexible learning experiences, which means that you're stuck with the same old boring format. The bottom line is that when you're not engaged in your studies, your learning suffers. Flashcards and Anki cards can be helpful for some people, but they're not exactly the most exciting way to study. The 4th and final reason, flashcards and Anki cards are a mega time suck. Look, flashcards and Anki cards are a huge time suck because they can be difficult to create and use. Creating them is no easy task. It takes a ton of time to put all that information into each and every card. Don't even get me started on how long it takes to review them all. It can be super frustrating to try and keep up with them, especially if you're juggling with a bunch of other stuff at the same time. Plus, some types of information are just not well suited to flashcards and Anki cards. For example, trying to make a deck for vocab words can actually be a major pain in the butt. Even if you look for Anki card decks that are already created by others, you're still going to have to spend a lot of time sorting them through and making sure it's actually helpful. Oh, and I haven't even begun talking about how long it takes to review flashcards and Anki cards. Flashcards and Anki cards can actually be really difficult to keep up with, which can often lead to discouragement and frustration. So what should you do instead? Well, instead of using flashcards and Anki cards, you should check in the description below this video for a free tool that I've created that can help you find the right learning style, which can ultimately help you boost your learning. By the way, I've also talked about gamified project-based learning and my teaching others technique in my other videos. I really think that these 2 methods are definitely better strategies for studying and memorizing information. They can not only help you remember the information, but also help you understand the information that you've learned so much better by applying the information in different situations. So yes, Flashcards and Anki cards can be a useful tool in helping you memorizing facts, figures, and other types of information for studying. However, there are many drawbacks that limit their effectiveness because they are not a really engaging way to learn. I wouldn't say they're completely useless as they do have their place in certain learning scenarios, but for the most part, they're not particularly helpful to understand and apply the information that you've learned. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment below if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to try my best to answer them. I'm also going to release new videos every week, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on so that you won't miss out on new videos that can help you improve your learning.